today's video, we're going to talk about what you have to have in mind when thinking about growing business and bringing in new business in 2021. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So 2021, I don't know if you can see my t-shirt. I just bumped the mic, but Dumpster Fire 2020. What a year was that? What a year 2020 was. All of us had to find new ways of doing things, embrace technology, create new ways to kind of replicate what we used to do physically, working at home, dogs, kids, all of that stuff while we're having Zoom meetings. I mean, what a shite show. We're in 2021. Everyone sees the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Vaccines are underway. Hopefully where you live, they're underway. In Canada, they're doing pretty good. I'm already starting to think about being able to come back into the US and see clients and build business and all of that, but I'm not counting on it. Even though it looks in the next few months it could be safe to do so, at least by summer or the fall, I am building and planning and having clients do the same, assuming that we have to replicate 2020 in 2021. Now the question is, how do we do that? Well, as I was having this conversation time and time again with clients over the last week, I made myself a little cheat sheet on the things that I need to be mindful of and that they need to be mindful of. And I actually keep this list on my monitor and I read through it every morning just to reinforce the mindset and kind of the state I need to be in order to make 2021 even bigger than last year, which was even bigger than the year before. I don't buy into the bull that you use the pandemic as an excuse for why you can't grow business and or shift your business model to reflect what's happening. Now, the first thing that I think we all need to do is to really focus on consistency, because we don't necessarily have to get, dressed up to go to work or commute or all of the normal habits that we get into. We have to create consistency in what we do. And I love the book Atomic Habits, which I'll kind of put a picture of up here. I listened to that book again over the holiday break, and I was mindful of how little small habits can have huge impact. What I'm mindful of every morning is to be consistent with what I do, what I say, and how I show up. I'm not showing up in kind of pajamas or anything like that. I have a shower in the morning. I get dressed. I comb this long hair. I put it in it's one of my daughter's scrunchies, no judgment. And I get myself ready. Phone is charged. Earpods are charged. Call sheet is ready for me when I start work. And 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, I'm in front of the computer doing what I need to do. I have client calls scheduled. I have my prospecting scheduled. I have fitness scheduled, and I am consistent. I don't want to make anything different. I'm not trying to have extra decisions I need to make every day. I want to show up and put in full effort every day. So the number one thing for you to be mindful of in 2021 is to be consistent. Now, the second thing, which might sound like it's going to fight with the first one, is to be flexible. Now, I had too much stuff go to garbage in 2020, hence the dumpster fire, that I found myself getting miserable and feeling, I don't think depressed was the right word, but resentful, frustrated, angry, pissy with people who needed flexibility. And because I'm somebody that is rule-based and disciplined, I like stuff to be exactly how I expect it to be. And the lesson that I learned in 2020 is I have to be super flexible. People might cancel at the last minute. We might have technology issues, which I had with my biggest prospect last year. 9 lawyers on the phone and the internet shut off about 5 minutes into my presentation. I am mindful of the clip. There's a Bruce Lee clip that I'll put down in the description below, but he talks about being water, right? Just be water. If you go into a glass, you become the glass. If you go into a vase, you become the vase. We need to be flexible so that we don't get thrown off course when things go sideways. So consistent, but also flexible. The third thing that we really need to flex into is technology. I'm shooting this on my M50 Canon camera. I've got a new boom microphone that's easier for me to set up. I've got a reflector over here to make it easier to light this side of my face. I have a big light right there that's doing it. I have a process that I follow to ensure that technology can deliver the results that I'm looking for. I'm getting some help now with an editor overseas who's doing a great job, and we're learning how to work with each other, and even the technology on that, sharing files back and forth, the Final Cut Pro library. He does a lot of the rough cuts. I do the finishing of the videos. This is all a learning process that I have kind of leaned into. And because I did it last year, like 2021, these videos are way easier. than they were when I started them last January. And so I'm looking for technology to serve me wherever I can. MailChimp to communicate with people rather than doing calls and giving little bits of advice to prospects. We're starting to do a weekly business tool for everybody, for current clients, for past clients, for prospects, for people that are not our prospects and may never work with us but want to learn about business. We're going to start to send out a weekly tool that they can use just as they're starting to put things together, for if you're an established veteran or if you're just thinking of starting out. So if that's something of interest to you, stay tuned to this channel, because as we get ready to launch, we'll let you know how to sign up for that. Totally free. Wow, Christmas comes late. The fourth thing I want you to think about this year is partnerships, right? Who can you be partnering with that is a complementary service to what you do? People that you can introduce your services to and that can introduce your services to their clientele. Now, this is a really a tool that you have to be careful with, because you both get painted with the same brush. You want to do your due diligence to make sure that you're choosing partners that fairly reflect what you find is important in business. Integrity, honesty, fair pricing, all of that good stuff. But 2021 has taught us that 2020, we lacked connection with other professionals. And, we do the fake Zoom cocktail parties, which were bullshit, but we did them to try to connect. 2021 is going to allow us a lot of ways to connect in a more meaningful way that will be beneficial to the vendors and to the clients they serve. So really be mindful on who you're partnering with and who you're investing time in developing a relationship with. Now, again, the yin and yang of this is learning how to edit the herd. I'll put a link to the video where I talked about the most effective number of people you can have in your network, professionals and non, is 250 people. You need to learn to edit where you're going to give your attention and where you're not. Using technology as a leverage to build these relationships is exhausting. It's much easier to go for lunch with 6 or 8 buddies than to try to do a Zoom meeting where you're talking over each other and all of that stuff. You need to really be clear on who's going to get your time this year and who isn't. Which prospects that you can qualify quickly that have means and need, and those that have means and not need, or need and not means. If it's either of the last two, you just get rid of them. Which past contacts that you continue to engage with, which new contacts are worthy of your attention. You need to learn the cull of the herd so that you're not overextending yourself and exhausting yourself. Full disclosure, that's where I was at the end of last year, and why on the 23rd of December, I basically crashed for a week. Is I had gone so hard, so fast, for so long with so many people. By the time the 23rd came around, battery was completely empty. The sixth thing you want to do is get really clear on the value that you bring to the table. A lot of people I see discounting their products or services because of COVID, but I want you to consider doing the opposite. If you are delivering value, you need to fair market price. And I see a lot of professionals writing down bills and all this stuff because they're like, well, it's COVID. COVID is having a massive negative impact on a lot of people, but it shouldn't be on your bottom line unless it is absolutely necessary. Your job as a business owner is not to provide charity, but to provide value. Make sure that if you're charging top dollar, you are doing that with a clientele that is getting all of the value that you bring to the table. I would much rather you increase your service level than decrease your fees. Increased service level drives value to that client, but if you discount your services, I'm telling you, you'll never get those prices back up. And the seventh and final thing for you to be mindful of as you're building business in 2021 is discipline. Most of my clients that thrived in 2020 were those that dug down deep and found a whole new level of discipline. A lot of them enjoyed networking events and speaking and writing books and all that stuff to build their business. But we had to go back to basics of the making calls Tuesday afternoons, Thursday mornings, and all day Fridays to prospects in order to fill their funnel. And them, like me, had an increase in the volume that people we had to connect with just to get the same results. What I can tell you is the benefit for us in December, and when I say us, both internally as a company and our clients, is the increase in opportunities in December really paid off all the additional effort that was made the first, let's say 8 or 9 months prior to December. It all pays off, if not quickly. So for you to do really well in 2021, you have to have the discipline in place. And that goes to scheduling time for your business development, ensuring that your service levels are right for your clients, all of that good stuff that will have you emerge out of the kind of the herd of people as somebody that goes above and beyond. Or as, David Goggins says, how to be uncommon among uncommon people. Anyway, that is the recipe for 2021, friends. 2021 should be the year where you not only get all of the benefits from the work you did in 2020, but where you start to lap the competition who still haven't woken up to the new world. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, as all of those things help the channel. The comment thing is really key to me because I'd love some interaction back and forth on topics like this. What are you going to do differently in 2021 that you did in 2020? What lessons did you learn in 2020 that you're going to bring forward to 2021? I'm interested in all of that. Anyway, thanks for watching. And remember, gladiators eat first, and they will make 2021 the best year that they've had in a decade in regards to sales and business development. See you in the next video.